Okay guys, I'm back again. I'm enjoying this game so much, and this is part 3. Okay, I'm DJJPW, if you didn't know that. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Okay, now, let me just sort something out quickly. Okay. So if you didn't know, I'm playing Everlasting Summer, a free-to-play game on Steam at the moment. It's a great game, I'd recommend getting it. Let's get back into this. Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? But my cries were only heard by the speechless statues of the pioneers and a bird on a tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off, crying out something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dares to interrupt it after dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just lay quietly sobbing occasionally. ... After a while, I managed to pull myself together. My mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is all this for? It doesn't look like an experiment either. If there is just some crazy descendants, then there's probably no threat. Anyway, for now it seems there's no danger. Sorry, the pain was soon gone. I keep getting a burp feeling, you know. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples and my head was still shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there is nothing I can really change in any way. So no matter how much I think or how mad I get, it would only make things worse. Until someone actual fact appears, there is no real point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging about here. This camp, if of course it is a real camp, looks like the only place where people could be, so I decided to go there. And hardly had I reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them, wearing a pioneer uniform. So this is the first character we're meeting, I guess. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform in the 21st century. And then again, a girl here. I froze, unable to take a step. I felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place, far from the bus, gates, statues, and far from this bloody bird with its siesta, however. Just running, free like the wind, faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by, winking at the galaxies, running, becoming a pulsar ray, and turning into vestigial radiation, running to face the unknown. This is getting technical. Run no matter where, as long as it is far from this place. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. Could I not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear? Human instincts won't independent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life, and in particular ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking in formal quotes from an encyclopedia though my thoughts appeared, one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if it taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky soft cover crime fiction book. These words are getting bigger and bigger, and I keep stumbling on them. A pretty Slavic face, long braids that look like two. Oh damn it! Don't worry about that, guys. If you want to stop the video and read that, I accidentally skipped that. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Hi. Okay. Now this voice. Hi. Maybe that. Hi. 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 You must have just arrived. Let's try that. Let's be friendly. Let's reply. Yeah. Alright then, welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange, it looks as if I had just a normal girl in front of me. I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seem better. But what shall I do next? Try to speak with her as if she was a human, or run away, or what? The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside a little bit more, and the poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome content on my skull. What's so funny about that? The girl looked at me over. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Nothing. Great then. Great. What's so great about that? Suddenly, a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget about the bus behind me, the fact that it was winter yesterday and summer today. I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept that all this is actually happening. Everything is as it should be. All this is for the best. Would you happen to know? You should go to our camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look. You go straight ahead to the square, then turn left. You'll see several small cabins. She pointed at the gates, as if I knew what was behind them. Demiva is a pathmolic, a derivative of a Persian father's name in case of Demirti, put by Russians after the Persian first name as a sign of respect or formal address. Okay. Well, you can ask someone where Olga Demirti cabin is. I got it? Of course I didn't. Well, I've got to go now. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gate. It seemed as if, to her, I was something ordinary. And all this showed with the bus and the travels while awake or asleep, while troubling only to me, while everything here is just the way it is supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. What are they doing? A historical reenactment here? I hope I won't find Lenny standing atop an armoured car in this square. But even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. Oh, let's go. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. The sign near the door said, "Clubs." I was about to come closer when the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Hey, pretty face. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering from the fate of the whole of mankind with a true universal sorrow. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze as if frightened. I froze too, considering what was the best to do. to approach first or wait until she showed me interactive, or maybe run away after all. Although the last option was considerably being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct. At least that's what I'd like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. If this instinct hoped against deductive abilities, the outcome would be predator-minded. And those deductive abilities, or at least their symbols, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Look at that face on her. Right, look at that. She's like, oh, like, oh my god, what's just happened? And then CCCP. Here we get some song. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let me go to options. Settings. Okay. Sit there. No, oh my god. So that's the save screen. Suddenly someone jumped out of nearby bushes. A girl wearing a bright red t-shirt with USSR writing on it. For us it's different because this is English, that was Russian, okay? Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from a distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls, the one at the gate and this girl at the door of the clubs. At least I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I called her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something while widely waving her arms. The other girl in turn seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I'd have probably continued to observe their amusing dialogue, but the USSR girl suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of the first girl's face. This something turned out to be a grasshopper. Oh, for God's sake. So, there's the first girl. Hi, and then there's the second girl. Hey, oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's the voice. Yeah. The first girl squealed. She must not be too keen on insects, and she instantly rushed off towards the place where Lenny made his speech about the workers and peasant revolution. That is to say, towards the square. The USR glanced at me, grinned playfully and dashed about her. Not a bad start to the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am. Besides that, there are some kids here role-playing as pioneers. And as far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this is indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seems so real, if a little embellished, that I have started to think that in fact my previous life could have been just a dream. And what am I supposed to do now? ... I was picking at the cracked paving stone with my shoe and started aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decisions. That's when I recalled myself rolling at the grass weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct. When all energy from whimpering and self-pity is used up, the body either goes into hibernation, that's it, the word, or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seems to have chosen the second option, because out of the blue, I found the determination to figure out what was going on, and in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a respective of my own world, I think. Hey look, it's got an emerald there. Look, yeah. Oh, it's got on all of them. That's quite good. I followed the path to the left, on the right side of which stood small cabins, apparently the homes of the local pioneers. Actually, they look quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, so it is Russian, I had never been part of its children's organization, neither the pioneers nor even the October children. I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit differently. Huge brackets with long rows of metal bunks. Wake up call at 6 o'clock, played by a siren. 1 minute to make your bed, then join the formation at the drill square. Or wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Suddenly something struck me on the back. I staggered, but remained on my feet, turning around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. Okay. Fourth character. Okay. But all I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise. You know what? Each girl's getting the same voice. Pick your jaw off the ground. Oh no, this girl looks a bit evil. Pick your jaw off the ground. Let's give them an accent. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're giving them an accent. If only I knew an accent. Okay, let's do this. I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative. Like all the girls I had met here before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. New here are you? That works. New here are you? ... Fine. See ya. She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. No, we're giving them the same place. I walked from the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. The most interesting thing was that even the hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger, except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. I like that. At least I managed to make it to the square. There was no... That dog should shut up. If you can hear that dog. In my ear at the moment, all I have is dog barking. There was no linen on the armoured car, although one could easily expect something like that after all this had happened. Instead, however, monument to a certain comrade toward in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read Genda. Must be some big figure in the party. There were some small branches at the sides. It's quite pleasant here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the left or the right? To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And why am I going there anyway? Right. I've decided to pretend to be normal. So to the right. Through a small grove. I came out at a pier. I must have taken a wrong turn. Oh, God's sake. Hey, wrong way! I turned towards the voice. For God's sake. The first girl stood before me. So this is what I was talking about, guys. Yeah. Now, what did I tell you? Take a left at the square. She had changed her pioneer uniform into a bikini. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia. Actually, my full name's Slavna, but everyone calls me Slavia. Slaviana. So you can too? Yeah. I still feel a bit confused, so I've not come up with more meaningful answers. And what's your name? It felt like she could see right through me. Semyon. Nice to meet you, Semyon. And that's where we're ending it, right there. That is what we're ending it on, guys. The next episode might get a little bit, let's say naughtier, if you know what I mean. Okay, and I'm gonna end it right here. I'm gonna try and come up with names for the other episode, for the other parts. See you next time, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it so far. Peace out.